BC-348 Communications Receiver, Legendary World War II Radio. Introduction and Front Panel Overview. Welcome to another episode of SpaceTime Engineering. Today, we explore a true relic of communication history, the iconic BC-348 communications receiver from World War II. Manufactured primarily by companies like RCA, Belmont, Wells Gardner, and Stromberg Carlson, the BC-348 was a critical part of Allied aircraft communication systems. First introduced in the early 1940s, it served extensively in bombers like the B-17 Flying Fortress and B-24 Liberator. Its rugged construction, reliability, and performance earned it a legendary reputation among radio operators and military personnel. Let's begin with the front panel. Dominating the center is the large tuning dial, providing precise control over frequency selection. The receiver covers a frequency range of 1.5 to 18 MHz across 6 bands, allowing it to capture both AM and CW signals in the shortwave spectrum. On the left side, we have the band selector knob, which lets you cycle through these bands. Although slightly stiff after decades of dormancy, the mechanical build quality remains impressive. Just beneath that is the volume control, often labeled as the gain control on military equipment. Moving to the right, the mode switch lets you toggle between CW reception for Morse code and standard AM broadcast reception. The BFO beta frequency oscillator control sits nearby, crucial for decoding Morse code signals clearly. And of course, we have the classic dial light control. Turning this adjusts the brightness of the dial lamps, a small but thoughtful feature designed for nighttime operations in the cockpit. Every knob and switch has a functional, no-nonsense feel, a testament to military engineering where reliability trumped luxury. Internal top-side view. Opening the receiver, we are greeted by its immaculate internal architecture. The entire layout is modular and highly serviceable, with various aluminum shielded boxes dedicated to critical functions. These boxes house the receiver's oscillator circuits, IF amplifiers, and bandpass filters, each isolated to minimize interference and maximize stability. The heavy-duty power transformer is also prominently visible, a robust component built to military specifications, ensuring stable power delivery even under the harshest conditions. Knob servicing and maintenance. Over time, some of the front panel controls, like the dial light potentiometer and the band switch, have become a bit stiff, unsurprising for equipment over 80 years old. To restore smooth operation, I applied contact cleaner directly onto the potentiometers and rotary switches. This maintenance step helps remove oxidation and ensures proper electrical contact, a simple yet effective way to bring this historical gem back to fully functional condition without compromising its originality. Tuning mechanism showcase. Flipping the receiver upside down reveals the brilliance of its tuning mechanism. Built entirely from precision machined metal components, this mechanism ensures fine frequency adjustments with exceptional mechanical stability. The band spread feature is particularly remarkable. It allows precise tuning within narrow frequency ranges, which was critical for locking onto weak or distant signals. Even today, it's hard not to admire the mechanical precision engineered into every moving part of this receiver. Tuning coils and shielded box construction. Next, I carefully opened all the shielded boxes to showcase the remarkable construction quality of the tuning coils. Each band has its own dedicated coil assembly, meticulously wound and securely mounted within its respective shielded compartment. This design not only ensures minimal signal loss and high selectivity, but also excellent frequency stability, vital for military communications in the heat of battle. The craftsmanship is truly a marvel, even by today's standards. Front plate and tube assembly. Behind the front plate, you'll notice a clever design choice. Tube sockets are mounted from the top but accessible from the front for soldering. This allowed easy field servicing without disassembling the entire chassis. Here you can also see the PF capacitors neatly arranged. These precision capacitors were critical for tuning accuracy and frequency stability. Their placement close to the tubes minimizes lead length, reducing unwanted inductance and preserving signal integrity. Rear circuitry and module overview. Moving to the back side of the receiver, the shielded modules are clearly labeled, providing easy identification of the antenna tuner, RF amplifier, detector, and oscillator circuits. This modular approach allowed field technicians to quickly diagnose and repair any faulty sections, often by simply replacing entire modules. Such a design philosophy kept aircraft radios operational with minimal downtime, absolutely vital in wartime scenarios. Dial case and lamp condition. One of the most astonishing discoveries was inside the dial case. The two original dial lamps are still present and appear to have never been used. They show no signs of wear, discoloration, or filament fatigue. This leads me to believe that this particular BC-348 unit was likely kept as a spare unit, never installed or used in active service. The tubes also appear completely unused, glass envelopes pristine, and the internal elements as clean as the day they left the factory. Finding such a historically significant piece in near mint unused condition is incredibly rare. I consider myself extremely lucky to have acquired this outstanding example of World War II engineering. Final thoughts and conclusion. To sum it up, the BC-348 communications receiver is a masterpiece of military engineering, built to last, easy to service, and functionally brilliant. Even today, with all our advanced technology, this receiver stands as a proud testament to the ingenuity of the engineers of the 1940s. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a piece of radio history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us continue exploring and preserving these remarkable pieces of technology. Thank you for watching SpaceTime Engineering, where history meets engineering excellence.